Hello hombres, my name is L.A.zy and welcome you all back to Metal Gear Solid 5. After another rehash mission done, we got 3 more unlocked. So what do we got here? Extraordinary. Using the photograph and informant's file transmission, retrieve the film canister containing classified information. And we have 2 more rehashes as well. So let's see what the briefing says about this.
Boss, we need you to get back a film canister one of our informants hid in the field. Who was working under my orders to investigate the extraordinaries that showed up in Cyprus.
Skulls?
The man on fire and the floating boy that keeps showing up where they're not welcome. Apparently they were the subjects of some top-secret research conducted by the Kremlin. Unfortunately, that meant our informant drew the attention of the KGB's Directorate S, and they took him out before we could make contact. The good news is he placed a report in a film canister and hid it somewhere in Spookmate Keep. Just before he died, he transmitted VI of the hiding place to us, but the data was cut off partway through. The image is far from clear, but it might provide the clue you need. We'll be analyzing the data further to try to clear it up, but for now, get to Spookmate Keep. The KGB have already dispatched a Spetsnaz squad to retrieve that film canister and cover the whole thing up. Boss, there's no time to waste. Head to Spookmate Keep and use the VI as a clue to find and retrieve that target. Why was Sahelanthropus mobile? How are the man on fire and that kid connected to Skullface's plan? If we can just get that report, we can blow it all wide open. Then we can shake off the last remnants of Skullface and the phantoms he left behind.
Kind of interested too. Maybe we can kind of get the sort of exposition we can get on these two. I mean, I kind of know about the man on fire already. I mean, the man on fire is basically Vogan, the guy from Metal Gear Solid 3. I was surprised myself to actually see him again. I mean, I thought he fried to a crisp back in MGS3. I mean, he got fried by a bolt of lightning, and then exploded several times by his own cartridges. Episode 38, Extraordinary. So I'm kind of interested to know as well what exactly this episode can tell us.
Boss, retrieve the film canister our informant hid in Spookmate Keep before he died. It contains vital information on Skullface's plan. For now, our only clue is the garbled photograph the informant tried to send us before the end. We're working on analyzing the data for visual evaluate. The KGB Spetsnaz squad is after the target as well. Boss, go to Spookmate Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden.
Okay. Let me see. Do we have a photo? I know the archway, so I'm hoping we can find this really quickly. Spookmate Keep isn't very far. There is a pathway leading up there, so might as well take it. Oh boy. Bumpy roads. Whoa! Not too fast. Stop. There, that way. Yep, that's the way. Let's keep going. So the canister is hidden somewhere in some archway. That is, I know for sure. The main thing is, where exactly can we come? And I'm pretty sure the Spetsnaz are already there at the checkpoint, so might as well have some fun as well. Here we are.
There's some high ground there. Here's what you need for recon.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been analysis
There they
complete. Analysis complete.
Ooh, there's some really good soldiers out there.
Analysis complete.
There are some armored ones as well.
Analysis complete.
So this might prove problematic. There's no dent in that guy's armor as
Enemy
well.
presence detected. The map has been updated.
Oh, there is no transport. Oh boy. Okay, so far there's 4 of them, but what does the map say about it?
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
Okay. Shit. Let's hope we can bring him down real quickly. Come on, fella. You always fall for the old cardboard box trick. I need to modify it as well. I mean, have the, like, little model across from it. That'll be hilarious. Yes! Oh boy.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Oh boy. This is not a good situation right now. Don't think so. Okay, both of you are coming with me. As always, I failed spectacularly with this.
Roger that.
Detected. The map has been updated.
No, not this, not this. Active decoy. Come on, fall for the trick already. Hey, don't pay attention to me. There's a guy behind you.
Analysis complete.
Oh shit. Okay, that might. I think that distracted almost everybody. Shut the hell up, my friend. Okay, tell me what you know.
Where are your friends?
Fuck. Shit.
Decrypted the VI data. Now the target's hiding place should be clear as day. Check your iDroid.
Fuck. Yeah, I think I spotted it. Shit. Damn. Once again, I failed spectacularly. Here I thought I was at least semi-good with the game.
That's a serious injury. It won't heal on its own.
Shit. I know that. Oh. There you go. Fuck. Don't know how to deal with those armored dudes as well. Sick of you guys. Oh, there it is. Oh no, I think that's a lantern.
Boss, we've succeeded in decrypting the data of that VI the informant sent to guide us. The image is clear now. We can
Shut up! One more dude. Ooh, found it! Yeah. Whoa, that's pretty high. Okay, helicopter, I need your help real fast.
Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter.
Run. No mortars, no mortars. I think I threw them off quite well. Oh, I swear the rank is going to be lower this time. Indeed, it will be.
Mission complete. Great work.
B, not bad. Thought it was going to be a lot lower though. Okay, what do we got? Hamburgers, Casimir Miller. Okay, I think I got some important files. At least I think so. We'll see. Once we're back at the chopper, we'll see.
Boss, we have an emergency.
Yeah.
Come back to Mother Base ASAP.
Okay, what's the emergency? Okay, what do we got? What happened?
Guess it's time to increase security. Just give me the order.
Who did this?
A competitor. But we don't know who. Can't pin down a route to their base. But we're ready to strike back. Just give us that chance, boss.
What the hell is going on? I have absolutely no idea what just happened.
I've updated the mission list. Received a new job offer. Details are on your iDroid.
Yeah, this shit. Proxy war without end. We need to see a fate armored column ascending Nobraga Airport. The column contains new large-scale fighting vehicles. Whoa. Capture scoop my keep. I have no idea what just happened. Okay, let's wash up.
Welcome home.
And see what we got on the tapes. Okay. No, not that. Informant's report.
We finished decoding the informant's report. That floating kid we've run into a few times now. Looks like he was a test subject in clinical experiments. The Soviets called him the Third Boy. The Third Boy was brought to a lab on the outskirts of Moscow from Czechoslovakia, after which he was due to be sent to a research center in Leningrad, then Siberia, and finally an academic town in Novosibirsk. It doesn't appear that the researchers witnessed the talents we've seen from him, but nevertheless he was quite the popular subject. His latent cognitive abilities suddenly awoke en route to Moscow. According to the report, the Third Boy was easily influenced by other individuals' biofields. Evil thoughts, in particular. They affected his mind like a virus.
Psychomantis?
Extreme anger or resentment, motives for revenge, in other words.
That definitely sounds
During
like
the transport flight to
Psychomantis.
Moscow, the boy was exposed to a powerful mental energy field coming from a certain individual. Ever since, being conscious of his powers, he's become a sort of energy generator. What's unique about him is the way his acute telepathic abilities get taken over by another person's will. The boy began to physically parasitize individuals experiencing extreme anger and codify the host's desires. This includes amplifying the host's natural strengths. Or, in accordance with the host's desires, he can also implant program code in another individual.
Him and the Man on
making them
Fire.
a puppet, essentially. Human neural synapses transmit weak electrical currents between neurons. These electrical currents, though at a level difficult to observe, warp the magnetic field outside the body. The third boy is able to pick up these weak fluctuations. Contrary to psychotronics, which involves controlling the human mind, his abilities as a receptor are too high. The emotions he picks up from another individual are amplified and unleashed into his body as they recur in his brain. They turn into microwaves, which then affect the physical world, triggering paranormal phenomena like the spontaneous combustion of organic matter or psychokinesis, moving an object without touching.
Telekinesis.
There's one other thing. While he's parasitizing a host, the boy's ego gets shut away, allowing the will of the host to take control of his powers, like some annoying static drowning out your own voice. That means he isn't responsible for what's been happening. Somebody's extreme anger has manifested through the third boy's powers in ways none of us could have predicted, which would mean this was going on somewhere around us.
The Man on Fire's powers through the
Looking
boy.
back on it, a lot of things make sense now. The Man on Fire, Sahelanthropus, they both came to life thanks to the third boy's powers. Everything has been happening through him as a catalyst. We first saw him in the hospital on Cyprus. The boy parasitizing the Man on Fire's desire for revenge gave him his new abilities in return. He next appeared at the Hamid Fighters Fort where the honeybee was hidden. There, the boy parasitized Skullface's vengeful mind. He controlled Sahelanthropus, making it do whatever Skullface wanted. Same goes for when we extracted Emmerich onto the chopper. When he appeared at the Devil's House in Central Africa, Skullface's will controlled the Man on Fire via the third boy's powers. Everything is clear up to this point. But even the informant couldn't pinpoint who the host was in the cave within Serac power plant. Sahelanthropus suddenly became active, then crushed not only the Man on Fire, but Skullface as well. Surely neither of them could have been the host. Who else was at that location and bore anger more extreme than either of them? Whose will was controlling Sahelanthropus? According to the report, emotions transmitted in children's brains affect the surrounding magnetic field more strongly. Cerebral nerves are covered with insulation called myelin sheaths to increase impulse speed. The reason for this leakage has to do with the fact that children's myelin sheaths are still developing. So, how many children do you remember being there?
A lot.
Children with a burning desire for revenge and bearing a grudge against you. I can think of only one. Eli. We don't know what kind of life he's had, but the resentment he's shown toward adults is nothing short of extraordinary. The third boy resonated with Eli's mind. And that means Eli bore the strongest animosity of all individuals within the boy's reception range, estimated to be a 3-mile radius, beating out even Volgan and Skullface.
Wow.
The third boy's probably remained hooked on Eli's anger since. You remember at the Devil's House, the third boy showed an interest in Shabani? That must have been his ego making a rare appearance. He may possess abilities far beyond anyone else in the world, but he's still a kid. Maybe them both being kids was enough to bring them together. And if so, maybe with Eli, he isn't feeding off him, but acting in symbiosis with him.
That could be it.
So what kickstarted the third boy's powers? If we look at the location and time that his plane went down, we can make a pretty good guess. When the plane experienced the first anomaly, it gave an accurate report of its position to a control tower, due north of the Black Sea, 125 miles east of Kiev. Dead south on the Black Sea is Cyprus's Green Line. So the plane's position was directly north of the hospital where you'd been asleep for 9 years. And this anomaly was reported at exactly the same time that you woke up. The plane was enveloped in flame from the inside out. The fuselage burnt to ashes. There were no survivors, at least not publicly admitted. Your thoughts formed a synchronicity with the boy's psyche and were amplified inside his brain. That would have been more than enough to trigger his abilities. Your rage was like a big bang in his head, blowing the lid off his powers. The boy was then secretly moved to the lab outside of Moscow where Volgin was comatose. There, Volgin's thoughts resonated with the boy and he was awakened. Volgin became the man on fire, hell-bent on getting revenge on you. His instincts led him straight to you. Skullface knew Volgin from Operation Snake Eater, or perhaps from even before. Monitoring this pair of extraordinaries, he discovered the hospital and sent his assassin and XOF. Skullface was probably watching the situation from close by. Then, realizing how useful these two test subjects could be, he approached them. Reacting to Skullface's thirst for revenge, this time the boy let Skullface's will control Volgin. Volgin, at times driven by personal revenge, at times through Skullface's will, kept on moving, though his body was little more than dead meat. Perhaps there were moments where even your thoughts affected him as well. But without the boy's power, it was like the plug had been pulled from the socket. Everything was powered by anger, malice, revenge. This is how the end of the report sums things up. Both the third boy and the man on fire were originally test subjects of paranormal research for military applications. Like telekinetically controlling the leader of an enemy nation and making him launch a nuke. Or stopping the heart of someone on the wrong side of the Berlin Wall. Experimenting with latent human abilities. They were used as tools of the Cold War. The boy's only crime was being born with unique gifts. But he was sacrificed on the altar of war. His life reduced to slavery under other people's wills. Turned into a living weapon with no will of his own. And eventually the only emotion he could feel must have been the desire to get revenge for the hand he'd been dealt. Boss, it's you that awakened the boy's powers. But there's more to it than that. I guess the anger emanating from you was something he could truly relate to.
So that boy is definitely the incarnation of Mr. Psycho Mantis. And according to what L.A.zy just said, somehow those powers resonate with desire for revenge in other people. Man, such an intricate little detail. That's so awesome. Okay, what do we got for rewards? Okay, nothing too important. Let's head back to our... I don't know. We can't get back to the helicopter unless we call it. Okay, then.
Please select a
Taxi! Flying taxi! Yeah, good to see you too. Alright, get down there. I need to finish the video, but I'd rather do it on my plane. My swag when we go to plane. Well, not plane, helicopter. Go to helicopter. Swag. Gain as much altitude as you want. Take the sky high. I always wondered how high can helicopters go. I mean, I do remember watching programs about how high helicopters can go, but I kind of forgot about that detail. Like, there was crates in there. I actually found out that, like, picking up all those crates around the base, they do absolutely nothing. So, I kind of wasted time in Fulton extractions just to, you know, extract them again. Which is kind of a shame. Okay. Yeah, I know the buddies. I still haven't used Quiet in a lot though. People say that using Quiet can kind of make some of the missions in the game a bit easier.
mission list
So I decided
updated.
not to do so. Let's listen to one more tape if we have time.
Feeling hungry, old timer? Old timer. I do not get hungry, no. But you have a new hamburger? You guessed it. And this time we used lamb. Lamb? You're not a lamb kind of guy? A hamburger is made of beef. Who ever heard of a hamburger without? Yeah, but We gotta stay fresh. Stand out from our competition.
You're what?
Just give it a try.
This is so
If
ridiculous.
you say so.
Because if you love Miller's epiphany.
Not bad. But I cannot call this a hamburger.
I thought we were onto something this time. Maybe the problem is that it looks like a regular hamburger. Gotta think outside the box. Too much baggage if they come in expecting just another burger. Let's see, cotton candy to make it look like a sheep.
Just a minute. You really think people would eat that?
Why not?
What is it you are planning? Are you using me? A taste tester? A one-man focus group?
Well, actually, already started. I got a place called Miller's Maxi Buns.
You are kidding.
What?
Business hasn't been great. No one seems to like my
The Ocelot said Diamond Dog's budget did not add up. But you don't mean to tell me.
What? No. Our black budget's got it all covered. I'm not embezzling GMP or anything. Still, let's not say anything to Snake, okay?
Too bad, I'm already listening to the tape.
However, Kazuhira, it takes more than premium ingredients and a clever recipe to satisfy the palate.
Okay, so what do we do?
The palate seeks one thing: chemical additives.
Chemical additives.
There is nothing mysterious or spiritual about good flavor. The tongue simply identifies specific amino acids, which the brain then recognizes as appealing.
Eureka!
Therefore, all that is needed is to chemically isolate those amino acids and incorporate them into your products. To be clear, I speak of flavor. The rest is irrelevant.
That seems a little extreme.
Do not forget that I am a scientist after all. And using science for the benefit of others is a joy.
Something all scientists forget.
In seeking coexistence with nature's blessings, not everything can remain in its natural form. When we fall ill, we must be treated. Otherwise, that very nature could cost us our lives. Agriculture is one of nature's many blessings. But through that process, we damage the surrounding vegetation.
Yeah. Whether it's a massive farm or a tiny field, we always leave our mark on the land.
The same is true of parasites. And for food preparation. If tapeworms in the raw meat of another animal enter the human body, they roam around trying to find their usual habitat. Sometimes even eating away at the brain in their confusion.
Oh, that's gross to think about.
So in looking through a scientific point of view, you see the necessity for processing food. Yes, it is also sometimes necessary to eliminate certain parasites, or selectively use or even modify others. Alternatively, we could say that if a man is part of nature, the work he does is also part of it. What is important is the balance.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, old-timer. You really opened my eyes. I fooled myself into thinking people today wanted high-quality, all-natural goods. But my favorite burgers were never about that. What they want is something like the first burger I had in America when I went to meet my dad. A Frankenburger loaded with additives. That's the America I knew and loved. I'll be back in a jiffy, old-timer. My next burger's gonna knock your socks off.
Kazuhira, wait. What is important is how we balance the...
He left. Okay, that final tape kind of made my day. Okay, and with that, I am gonna end this video here. So apparently, we found out a lot. The man on fire is Vulcan, and apparently that third boy he was talking about is Psycho Mantis himself from Metal Gear Solid 1. And it's interesting to know the detail behind his powers, like the wills of others influencing his powers and what he could do, making him a living weapon. I do not envy his lifestyle at all. So without further ado, that's it for this video. Thank you all who watched, and hopefully, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!